So we can sit in a pillow or on a chair, that's also fine, depending on people's body's capacities. If you're on a chair, you want to sit a bit to the front of the chair and have feet parallel and not leaning on the back of the chair, ideally, if possible. And if you're sitting on the ground, we usually are cross-legged, but whatever you're able to do. Hands rested on the leg. There's another position like this. We often start like this. We sit here and find the moment. We find life happening in us and through us, through our experience. So we really come in touch. And as we do that, we may notice a slowing down of the system. Maybe still some movements from the day, pushing and pulling. We just notice and enjoy just being there with life for a while. We let the breath become a bit longer, but not forced. And as we do that, we listen. How does that affect my system, my neck, my throat, my chest, shoulders? And we begin to find more and more a witnessing of what's there. witnessing of the sounds that surround us, ones in the distance and the humming of the environment. A witnessing of our heartbeat, a witnessing of the weight on the floor and how that feels. A witnessing of the general mood or state of mind. And just witnessing, it's just a state of mind changing. Maybe it's changed already. We may notice that that witnessing is not just by nature impartial, because it's just witnessing, but it's also allowing. So we could say that it is a loving witnessing, embracing anything that arises without judgment, without detachment from it, in the sense of without distance from it, without separation. It is at one with it, therefore loving. So we sit there with and as loving witness. We don't try to become a loving witness. We are already that. We always were that. So we just pause, listen, slow down, and come in touch with the witnessing, with that notices. And that's what we will find. So let's abide there together for a while. No matter what thoughts pop up, no matter what emotion pops up, no matter what disturbance or sound. Due to habit, we will consistently go back to this separating mode of thinking. But that's what we'll do here throughout the session, and hopefully throughout our days to come, is a deprogramming of that habit. And back to the witnessing. And the coming back to to the witnessing, the coming back is not really a coming back, it's really merely a recognition and then abiding in that recognition. We remember the witnessing, abide there. It has a vast quality, it has an unlimited quality. And let's find our body as a whole before coming into standing. We find the crown, the top of the head. And there's a witnessing of whatever sensation is there, a loving witnessing, allowing. There's a warmth to the listening there. And through the head, forehead, eyebrows, eyes, the skull, the brain, the back of the upper part of the head. There's a witnessing of that and the surrounding of the head. The eyes, temples, nose, cheekbones, mouth, ears, the jaw, the back of the head, the inside and the surrounding, and the neck. And with that degree of detail, we start to move a bit faster through. So from the crown, the top of the head, down through the head, inside, skin, outside, and down through the throat and neck. Witnessing as a loving witness, meaning allowing, meaning it's impartial, making sure that the impartiality doesn't become detached in such a way that you're distancing yourself from it, but staying intimate and as at one with what's there. Coming through the torso, heart, very gently, not pushing or forcing into anything. Upper back, shoulders, surrounding of the shoulders, arms, surrounding of the arms into hands, surrounding of the hands, we have crown, head, face, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, heart, upper back, chest, surrounding of the chest and upper back. And down through the torso, ribs, solar plexus, spine, lower back, no rush, but dedicated, committed. Letting it naturally spread in its own speed and rhythm. Maybe some parts it goes more easily, some parts less easily. We don't judge. It's the direction that counts here. Lower belly, inside of the lower stomach area. Hips into legs. So we have the pelvic bones, the weight on the pillow, the groin area, all the meeting point with the legs, coming into legs, inside and surrounding, knees, lower part of the leg, ankle, into the foot. With lightness, releasing through the feet, like relaxing the bottom of the foot, from crown to foot. Any heaviness or holding can just flow through downwards. Let me breathe a few longer breaths. We have our body, head to hands to feet, inside, the shape of it, the volume of it, and the surrounding. With that breathing body, you find a moment more of silence, of just nothing, not trying anything, just being there as loving witness. And slowly stand up. And let every movement be conscious. We don't go into automatic as much as possible. So we have feet parallel, about hip distance. Knees are slightly bent, crown suspended, a bit like a marionette hanging from a string. The chin comes back a bit naturally as the crown extends up. Tailbone sunk, knees bent, weight even on the feet. Our center of gravity, the lower dantian, the lower belly. And we allow for movement as if in water. We find a body position that make us feel able, capable of being in life, of facing things. The chest is open, but also soft, not pushed up in a hard way, but also not collapsed. Shoulders are released, head up, upright. The eyes are rested, open in a comfortable way. If you want, you can release, check. You can find almost as if there's a hint of a smile in the eyes, resting the outside of the eye. And see how does that change the feeling in the body. Or maybe how does that change the quality of thought? We're not stuck there, floating, shifting. We allow our body to sink down slowly, knees bend a bit more, as if you're in water, like sinking through water, and there's some currents a bit left, right, like floating downward a bit, sinking down into the earth. And really finding the earth. What quality does the earth have, and how does that feel in the body? The feet are steady. So you're not afraid of the ground, you're not pushing away from it. You're trusting it, resting into it, being held. And as we do that again, you can check how does that affect the body. Maybe you notice that when you do that, maybe some habit can release a bit of holding through the legs, maybe. Lower back, maybe. Belly. So you want to feel that if someone were now to come to push on you slowly, that you can just sink their force down through the feet and not be pushed over. Nice, because you're sinking down your weight to the ground. If someone pushes you, you don't freeze and become hard, because then you can be pushed over easily. Not too rigid. You're soft, but you're also not getting pushed over. You just completely accept the pressure in a way, if you imagine someone pushing on you somewhere. And you release, not run away, and not resist. If you have a practice companion in your room, and we can do it later here, you can also try this later. So releasing through the feet, finding the ground, so welcoming, supporting. Out breath, release down. In breath, floating up. We allow the hands to float. And let them float a bit longer. Lightness up. And we just let it float up. Let it go up until the shoulder. Following, like lightness up. Like if the arms are in water and they just float up on their own due to current. You just flood arms with feeling. Feet are nice and steady to the ground, crown suspended, and the arms are floating. And again down. And it's okay, some muscles get involved. Just smoothly, so smoothly, again floating up. No interruption. No resistance, no forcing. Shoulders stay released. You can follow your own speed up and down. Do that one last time. When you come down, make sure you're released. Feet are stable and steady. Allow for movement. And we find that lightness, that expansion, floating. And down again. And again. In breath, this time elbows open left and right, making roundness in the arm. Then from elbow to palm, palm comes forward as if in water, coming towards the lower dantian. Lower dantian is the point below the belly button, and shifting the weight, shifting the center axis, stepping out slightly, center axis turning, feet parallel, wider stance. You can adjust the other side as needed. We shift from left to right. I will make a step forward, but you stay where you are. So from left to right. Nice and stable. And we come to center. And from center out to upward downward. Finding the ground. So did we fall back into identifying with thought? Identifying with idea, with judgment? Nothing wrong with judgment, but our identification with it is creating an issue here. Staying in that witnessing, that loving witnessing. Witnessing what is seen, what is felt, what is heard, what is perceived, and also what is not. So also just witnessing. Presence. So a movement that is filled with presence, what does it look like? How does that manifest? It's an exploration we make, coming into inward outward form. How does the transition happen? In breath opening. And if you're going slower, it's okay. Just keep the breath natural and relaxed. But the base breath is out breath down, in breath up. So witnessing the body movement and its quality. The body's height and shape, volume as it moves. And the space around the body. Coming into connecting form to the front. The arms floating there. And one last expansion out, connecting, enjoying that expansion, connecting to the whole, wherever, the universe. And then from that expansion, extension, like everything opening, connecting, we follow a natural return in, smaller, hands come closer. We look through that Tai Chi ball, compress, expand there just a few times. So the eye is rested in a point between the two palm centers, which are pointing to each other. So the Tai Chi ball is not directly in front of the eye, it's a bit lower. So you just rest the eye through there. And with the out breath, the Chi ball gets smaller, with the in breath a bit bigger. So it expands, keeping that non-interruption. We continue the breathing, and let the breathing make space. Make space through your mind, make space through your chest and body. You have the tip of the tongue rolled up, so the tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth very gently. You relax the base of the tongue. And then as we relax the base of the tongue, Tai Chi ball comes down slightly. Allow the feeling to release down through the throat and heart. Tai Chi ball comes down, staying with the feeling between the palms if you can as well. Comes down lower, lower, and then starts to become bigger downwards this time. into discharge form, heaviness down, releasing down, feet relax to the ground, fingertips also extending down into infinity, and then floating up with the wrist. And if there's something that we are resisting each right now, can we let go of it a moment? If there's something we're holding on to, whether it's a preferred state to be in right now, or a judgment, an idea, whatever, anything that holds a bit of resistance, a bit of holding, a preference that has attachment, we just drop it. For one moment, let go and see what's left there. This is a good form to do such work. Discharge form, it's called. Let go. And see how easy it is actually to let go. Maybe then it starts again, but it's so easy just to drop it. You find the feeling in the body. One last couple times. Out, breath down, release. Release through the fingertips, through the body, tailbone, tip, feet, legs, earth. Crown suspended up. One last time. Out, breath down, a good sink, sinking, releasing. All 10 fingertips. You miss no fingertip. Thumb, index, middle finger, fourth finger, small finger. Just let go of holding, of tension there. Like it's pouring out, like shooting out of the fingertips. One last good release. And floating up, lightness up. You find the lightness at the arms, hands, the energy between the palms, like a feeling there. Perhaps it's more imagined, or perhaps it's quite tangible. Just stay with curiosity. We never stop moving. Out breath, touchy ball gets smaller. In breath. And let's let it come into the lower dantian. So the palms turn inward. And as we find our center, let things realign accordingly. And shifting the weight to one foot. If you mirror me, your right. And let's come this way. Lifting the other foot, 45. Coming into ward off. So ward off means arm is parallel to the ground. And then ward off expands. So we follow already the expansion. into a roll back. Press into push. And we repeat. So coming around, scooping with one hand, the other hand to the lower dantian, and coming back to ward off. Ward off expands to roll back. So first one is ward off, then roll back is number 2, therefore. Press is the 4th. And again. Ward off into roll back. Into press. Into push. Let's come to the other side. So coming to the side, this is called long hand, short hand, where one hand is like pulling the other one. So the front is leading the back. This is yang, this is yin. And as they come around you, lift the other foot so feet are parallel. And scooping with one hand, other hand at the dantian. And as we come into ward off, we shift the front foot 45 as we had on the other side, and ward off. Ward off opens into roll back. And can you fill every part of the movement with presence? We're witnessing, there is allowing, there is that one. Being truly with what is happening, even if it's imperfect. Even if there's tension, if there's confusion, we are with what is happening. Allowing and perhaps finding a humor about it, about the imperfection or so perceived as. So let's do one last full round and I'll pass to the other side. Am I at one with what is happening? And am I at one with my two hands? Hands connected, coming around, long hand, short hand, one hand leading the other, turning the back foot, feet parallel, shifting. So now we'll do it only once on each side and then shift. Turning the front foot 45 degree, ward off. So we come straight to the other side here, long hand, short hand. So yang and yin, one leading, the other one following. Turning the back foot, feet parallel. Shifting to the other side. Turning the foot, ward off. And to roll back. And again, other side. And can we keep us an awareness of our center and of the extremities? So there's a center of our body which is shifting forward and back in the different direction, but it's also turning. And then there's the extremities here. So turning center. And the connection between center and the extremities. One thing about press also here, see the two sides opening. So there's really an extension, an expansion, out, up, everything bigger. And from that big, find your center that turns and pulls in smaller and smaller. And then from small again, big, forward to back, and back, from behind to forward. And keep breathing. So it goes down, up, opening, and coming closer, smaller as we turn our center. Do one last time on one side. And sinking down, long hand, short hand. We continue long hand, short hand. If you're at the dantian, just join in, feet parallel. So here we have the hands exchange. Now the one hand is leading, the other one following. Nice long breath. There's a curve, it's as if there's a string and you're attached. And then exchange, other one leading, other one following. From down to up, other corner. You want to follow breath in, breath up, out, breath down. And again, we listen to our center axis and our center of gravity, if we can include that too. You see our center of axis turns, arms are connected totally. If that's too much, just focus on one hand lead, the other one follow. We're bringing in harmony, the yin and yang aspects of us. So there is our attention that may have become either too controlling, trying to achieve, make perfect, becoming forceful due to our high expectations of ourselves, perhaps. And then we want to relax a bit. Allow for imperfect. Just connect to the witnessing. The loving witnessing is already allowing. It's not something else that the ego has to do to allow, accept. It's already all allowed. So we just recognize that loving witness. It's already allowed. need to do the allowing or make it happen. And then the other way that maybe going is that we've gotten lazy, sloppy, lethargic, like giving up. And then we want to connect a bit to commitment, dedication, alertness, finding that inner power, finding whatever motivates us, like, I want to be happy, I do want to find peace, I do want to be able to be in this life. We let that yang us up a bit. And again, we always can and will find healing and connecting back to the loving witness. Whatever is noticed, whatever is arising. Is arising in the loving witness of it, like the wave arises in the ocean. So you can't have the wave without the ocean, but you can't have an ocean without a wave. So you can have whatever arises in awareness. You can't have it without awareness, without that witness, that loving witness. The loving witness is always there. So we acknowledge the back, down low, and then the front up high. Smooth transition, smooth exchange. One hand is just following as if being pulled, the other one is leading. And then yin becomes yang, yang becomes yin. Shoulders released, crown suspended. Shifting of the weight, maybe 70% foot to foot, feet parallel. And let's come back. Next time you come forward, you can come around to the lower dantian. Out breath, it comes closer, hands don't touch. In breath, it expands. Rising up, sinking down. Hands come forward into the earth, finding the ground. And again, we let everything settle. Feet. That space just underneath the skin of the foot. We release there. Make sure the toes are not holding us to the ground. Toe tips released. Chest released. Shoulders, elbows. Out breath sinking down a bit. In breath floating up. Let's come to one side, releasing through that side. We bring in that foot, lifting either side. And then we find ourselves grounded. And come to Lord Antien. Coming into closing form. That expands out, opening. We make every part of it meaningful. Coming up slowly, usually with one in breath, but smooth and interrupted, till the crown comes suspended. And that pinch turns with open hand towards the heart. And the pinch opens. Finding the heart. Down to Lord Antien. Let's repeat. So out breath comes in towards that center. Witnessing inside. And then from inside out. So we still have the inside, but expand attention to the surrounding as we did before with the sitting. But you go surrounding of hands, surrounding of elbow, surrounding of belly, surrounding of hip. So from in to out, like there's this expansion. Don't lose the in. Continue to expand down, behind, left and right. Forward, up. And then that expansion comes in again, closer. So closer inside the hands, inside the palm. One hand comes into a pinch, the other one is open. You can keep the breath natural. So you feel everything coming in. So the surrounding, we still have awareness of the vastness and all the directions, but it's in, like inside the bones, inside the pinch, inside the heart. We find that point of connection here, that so the yin is open, palm center connected to the yang, which is in the pinch, touching but not touching, connected. And they are connected to heart. So the yin yang is like you wrapped around the whole universe. And the two forces come as one. And then the heart wants to pull it, but it can't. It's infinite power. So it pulls it, and we follow that infinite power, that greater force. So heart and yin yang are together as one, and we follow down towards the earth. You can let your knees bend and come in with the earth. So we're joining in with the earth, heart, yin yang, and then that comes up through the feet, legs, surrounding, coming in, up, ground suspended. And then from the up force, it comes down. And it's going in like it's squashed in. And as it goes in, it expands out. Because in the in, there's the out. But don't lose the in. So it goes out, elbow points to infinity, left and right. Shoulders released. And we do expand the out, but often, it depends, we highlight different things in different moments of the form, but we are going out in all directions, but make sure you don't lose the inside. So out, but also in. And then from that expansion, you come down like following the sinking, everything brushed down into the Lord Antien. Give it a moment to settle, arrive, fill the Lord Antien. Comes back. Expansion, compression, we do it one last time. Coming into the Lord Antien. 1 point, so it's like small. And then from out to in to out. Finding that expansion from in to out, through the body, out to the environment as well. Continues to expand as we sink down, back, finding behind us, left, right, in front, above. And find that feeling, like from out to in, brings our arms, wrapping around. One hand comes into a pinch, index and thumb, or middle finger and thumb. The other one wraps around. They meet. Find sensation at the palm center and between the fingertips. And they become one, and heart is pulled towards it. So we let the heart lead us down as it follows that greater power. And we come down to the earth. It's a bow. So also there's a humility there, maybe a gratitude. See what you find. And then through the earth, finding the small, the low, the down. Not forgetting the down, we come up. And comes in towards the heart. And like the pinch goes into the heart. And as it goes in, it expands as well. Finding that connection, that expansion. And from back to in, front to in, left and right, up and down to in, to the heart. Maybe you find sensation at the chest. Flowing down, but don't be forceful. Keep curious. And find a moment of nothing. really finding the present moment. Maybe with time we see that our fear of not always trying to hold on to thought is unfounded. That as we drop thought, we find ourselves even deeper actually. There's no end to us. It's an end to an ego us, the one that is identified with the story of thought. But the us that is always there, no matter what thought arises or not arises. Yeah, that's the us we find there. Coming left and right, elbow points, hands. I left us 5 minutes to just sit with what's there, allowing witness. So, with the leftovers, so whatever is there is exactly what is there. And we be with what's there. Yeah, it's perfectly fine to stay standing as well if that's a preference. We just have some time of quiet, of just being, letting things change and their natural intelligence unfold. We're staying founded in the witnessing. Thank you. It's 7:30. Mm. Yeah. Sometimes it's not easy work, but it's really worth it. What unfolds from, especially the practices that can be a bit more challenging sometimes, those ones you're working through things. And it's reorganizing, changing things, opening things up through meeting what is closed. And when we meet what is closed, the quality is uncomfortable. So sometimes it's uncomfortable, but then another time it's not. And that's, things are moving. And then gradually more and more things heal. So stick through it when it's more difficult. It's really worth it.